So with that said, thank you guys so much for watching our Icarus update videos. This will be the final video that we post on our YouTube channel. It may not be the final Icarus video because we may come back and check out the new DLCs when they come out.
I wonder what Josh has been up to since he stopped doing the Icarus update videos. Oh, hey Josh, how you doing?
I'm good. You?
I'm doing good.
How can I help you?
We really need you to do the update videos again.
Well, you know I don't do Icarus update videos anymore.
But other content creators are just reading the patch notes and showing gameplay.
What? Then I have a job to do. What is up, everybody? Josh here again, and today we have an Icarus Week 143 update. This week they've added a new item that you can farm, the sugarcane. They also added a bunch of sweet treats for you to eat on your prospects, as well as some information about a new animal coming next week, and so much more, like no foggy glass anymore. Let's get into it, shall we? So Icarus Week 143 brings sugarcane, sugar, and new recipes. But what we're going to actually do is go through and show you in-game all of the new changes that has happened and mention a few things from this list. We're not going to sit here and bore you to death with reading the update videos. We're just going to mostly read a few things and then show you most of it. This week, underneath notable improvements, there's something really important for me to mention, and that is the added new master glass material and reworked all glass, BLD, or building materials to reduce the excessive amounts of fog that you can see through glass. There's a few really great changes this week, but one of the ones that I quite enjoy is the fact that glass isn't so foggy anymore, which is really, really cool. It does seem like you can actually see through glass quite a bit more than you used to be able to, and we find this quite apparent here in our little lounge. There's quite a few changes here. We used to not be able to see that great out of this area. This is the most recent updated version of the game and what glass looks like. This is from a stream several months ago on one of our update base when we updated it to concrete. So the glass is 100% easier to see through as well. You can see there's a lot more fading and stuff like that and fog in the glass like it used to be versus what it is now. And it's not as foggy, and you can actually see out of it. Now, some of the doors and windows do look kind of weird. I think that's just a bug from the change. But if you look at the actual glass part, it's pretty clear. Still foggy a little bit, but still, I think that's acceptable for glass. Absolutely amazing. I mean, look at that. You can see so much better out here. You used to not be able to see this good. And I got a heck of a view here in my kitchen now. I really appreciate this change. Something else really cool that they did this week was basically turrets won't shoot through walls anymore. So if it's hiding behind a wall, it won't try to shoot through your wall to a target. If there's no line of sight, it won't shoot at it, which is really awesome because it was destroying exterior walls on some of my prospects. They also upped the stack of kiwi fruit to 100. And of course, you can see here, 100 stack of kiwi. But I think somebody forgot to tell my turret that it's been updated because, it's, I don't know, it's putting off on it. Maybe it sees it somehow. Okay, it did actually see it somehow, which is interesting. So it's no longer shooting at it. So you want to make sure if you got like a turret in your base or in a courtyard or something like that, it cannot see the target whatsoever. Let's aggro a wolf to it. Hi, wolf. Would you like to come eat on me for a little bit? The turret's inside that wall there, and it's not going to shoot at it unless it has LOS. Looks like I got line of sight there for just a second. Or it might have been shooting at something else, but as soon as it could see, come on, wolf. As soon as I could see, wolf. It just shot me. Nice. What in the world? How? It seems like if the wall's damaged, it may be looking through it currently, which is maybe a bug, but it does look like any of the creatures that are behind this wall are not getting shot until they're getting within line of sight of the turret here. So some of the coolest things they've added in a while is the new sugar and sugar cane recipes. And sugar cane is something you can grow. We'll show you how to do that. And sugar is something you can process from sugar cane. So this week they've added candies and cookies as well, and this is probably one of the coolest things they've added because there are a lot of buff foods that are out there, but there's not buff foods that doesn't take a buff food's place, which is really cool. You can make everything at the electric stove, or you can make some things at the biofuel stove, and there's also an energy bar that you can craft on your person. And the coolest thing about candy is that it does not actually use a food buff slot, so that means you can have up to 5 foods currently in the game, plus the food buffs from the candies. So let's go ahead and show you that. So first off, let's talk about this. This is sugarcane and what sugarcane looks like. And we're going to show you exactly how to get sugarcane. The easiest way to get sugarcane is to just buy a seed packet for sugarcane. So if you were to go over to this seed packet here of sugarcane, you could buy it, research it for 50 Ren, and you could buy it for 20 Ren each. They'll give you 5 sugarcane seeds that you can plant at your garden. So buy those and bring them down, then grow them in your crop plots. Once you grow them in your crop plots, you can just harvest them with a sickle, like all other plants, and get you tons of sugarcane. And you're going to need this sugarcane to make the new candies that they added, which we'll go over here shortly. And of course, you could take a shovel and manually place sugarcane if you want to, and grow you a little bit of a sugarcane fortress, maybe. I don't know. Then all you have to do is come up to either your mortar and pestle and make sugar cubes with all the sugar cane that you have that you just harvested from your crops. You can either do it here, or you can also use your material processors if you have those as well. They are much faster, and that does take a very long time to make sugar cubes, it seems like. Looks like for 100, it's 22 minutes. Ish. So once you process those sugar cubes, you can take those sugar cubes and use them in the new candy recipes. So we're going to go into our electric stove. You can actually craft some of these recipes in your character. The very first one actually is the one here, the energy bar, and it's made with sugar cubes, seeds, coca, energy, and wheat. And that's going to give you 100 maximum stamina, negative 10% stamina consumed by tool actions, plus 10% charge speed. If you don't know what charge speed is how fast a bow charges when you pull the bow back, plus 10% reload speed, which is reloads of, yes, guns, and negative 25% food consumption. Of course, once you have those mats, you can go ahead and craft you an energy bar in your inventory. Let's talk about all the other new candies and foods that they added this week, which are really nice. So we have the chocolate chip cookie, which requires you to have flour, sugar cubes, egg, seed oil, and coca. And this will provide a maximum stamina buff of 175, negative 25% food consumption, plus 30% charge speed, plus 15% reload speed, and a 10% chance to find additional stone while mining, and 10% experience gain. We also have the chewy coconut cookie, and that is made with flour, water, sugar cube, a ripe coconut, and seed oil. Of course, you do a ripe coconut. All you have to do is mature a coconut to ripe. It does give you 750 maximum stamina, negative 25% food consumption, plus 15% charge speed, plus 30% reload speed, and plus 10% crafting speed, which is pretty neat. We also have the strawberry hard candy, which is sugar cubes and strawberry. Quite simple. It does provide an additional 25% movement speed buff whenever you consume that. And the watermelon lollipop, which is sugar cubes and watermelon. All these 4 recipes also just require water, by the way. And that gives you negative 50% over encumbrance penalty, which is huge, and I'll show you why here shortly. We have 2 final pastries. We have a caramel berry tart, and this requires pastries, sugar cubes, kiwi fruit, wild berry, and egg, so you have to have chickens to be able to do this one. And this gives you a buff food of 150 maximum stamina, plus 15% charge speed, plus 15% reload speed, plus 15% chance to resist cave sickness, and a negative 35% water consumption, which may be good in the new Null zone, and also a 10% chance to find additional stone while mining. Final pastry we have is the caramel pastry, and it is a pastry, sugar cubes, and salt, and it does give you 150 maximum stamina, plus 25% charge speed, plus 25% reload speed, and plus 15% experience gained. So those are all the new foods that they added this week. Let's show you why they're important. So let's start off with what makes these candies really cool. So we're going to go ahead, and we have no food buffs on right now. We're going to go ahead and put some food buffs on, and just kind of show you that we can have these food buffs on. So we have 5 food buffs, which is the maximum amount of food buffs you can have in game. That's with the alteration, with the hardy one space in your stomach, with the alteration bench, and of course with the food pyramid farming town as well, with 1 extra space in your stomach. So the great thing about these candies is that they actually go over the food buffs that you already have. So we have some items here, and also these 2 right here, just to mention, these are non-perishables, so you can have these as long as you want. They do not expire. All the other foods that were added new this week actually do expire. There are 2 items that actually will go in addition to the food items. So that is the strawberry hard candy, which increases your movement speed by 25%, and also the watermelon lollipop. That will decrease your over encumbrance penalty by 50% if you consume those. And as you can see, we have our 5 food buffs on, and these 2 additional items as well. So this movement speed is going to give us plus 25% movement speed. You will move 25% faster. The over encumbrance penalty, this is a really nice item. The reason why is because if you combined this and the Inaris Nev's pickaxe, that is negative 50% over encumbrance penalty as well. Those 2 combined, that means that you no longer have over encumbrance penalty, which means that as long as you have this item out, you can see we're moving kind of fast here in our workshop. We're just trying to run around here, and we're going to show you how fast we move without encumbrance. We're going to go ahead and pull out all this charcoal or something. That puts us about 1,800 out of 210. And we're going to run around this workshop again. And oh, look, it's about the exact same, because those 2 combined basically makes it where we are no longer encumbered whatsoever. That basically means we no longer have an over encumbrance penalty as long as you're using the lollipop and the Inaris Nev's pickaxe, which is amazing, because that means you can also increase your inventory slots, like with patcher 2 modules, or whatever you want to use to increase your inventory slots, like backpacks as well. Backpacks do it. You can basically just use those 2 items, and you have absolutely no over encumbrance penalty, which is insane. And of course, we demonstrated moving a little bit faster with the plus 25% movement speeds. You can actually couple the movement speed with the lollipop, and you're golden. So if you're moving a lot of ores or something like that, you could pop both of those on, have the Inaris Nev's pickaxe, and you'll be laughing all the way down the side of the mountain with all the ores you're carrying. Or wood, it doesn't really matter what you're carrying, but you basically will be carrying it at 100% speed. The other food items that we're going to show you, these are really neat items, and we'll show you the reason why. These do consume a food slot. If you see it, it says consume 1 space in stomach there, and that's basically what you'll use to indicate whether or not it's going to be able to be put over top of your original buff foods you have on. These are the only 2 I've found so far that you can put on over top of your buff foods. But these new items here as well, they increase that reload speed and that draw speed. So let's show you how important that is. So the first thing I'm going to show you is that it doesn't actually add to your food buffs. So you see that we have 5 food buffs currently on. We're going to eat this. Oh, and look, it kind of just got wasted. So it will not add over top of any additional food buffs. Just those 2 items we pointed out go over the initial 5 maximum food buffs that we can have in this game. Those 2 items are the only ones that do that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to eat all 5 of these new food items that give the increase to the charge speed and reload speed. And we're going to consume all of those. And this is going to let us be able to charge and reload our weapons super fast. We also, just to let you know, have moved our talents over here in firearms for pistols and for rifles for them to be recharged faster, just to let you know. which is a 20% with rifles and 20% with pistols. And of course, we have a faster reload speed as well with our bows. Alrighty, we got all these buff foods on. We're going to take a look and see what our stats look like. So if you go in your character and you go to show more, we're going to go over to where the stats are actually projected. And with all these buffs on, you can see that we're at plus 115% weapon reload speed. So we're going to try the weapons first and show you that. This is pretty neat, actually. We have the Chak pistol here. We're going to sit here and put a whole entire round into the middle of it and then reload it and show you how fast it goes. So the actual firing speed is the same. It's just the reload speed that we're looking at. That's, what, a second, if that? So you could put some serious rounds into whatever you're shooting at with this new Chak pistol. And that's with that reload speed reduced by 115%. Next, we're going to show you the hunting rifle, and we'll show you how fast it shoots the same speed, as of course. Nothing really currently increases the speed at which they shoot, I don't believe. Oh, I just destroyed my target. Whoops. But see how fast we just reloaded the rifle? Got this nice little bear target. We're going to practice on it next. So we're going to sit there and just shoot it and show you how fast it reloads. That's less than 4 seconds, I do believe. That is amazing how fast you can reload with this. Now, you don't have much of an HP bar, but look at this stamina bar that you have whenever you have this buff food on. That's insane. That's a huge stamina bar as well. Also, we'll go with bows and see how fast... Jeez, man. This is insane. That's a 6th amount of damage right there. And now we're going to take all these buff foods off. We're going to right click them, take them all off. That way we have none, and then look at our speed then. And our speed is going to be, there's no bonus to it. Looks like range reload speed, it has 0%. And we'll show you how fast it reloads. Not much of a difference on the Chak, just a little bit of a difference on the Chak. The biggest difference, I think, is in the rifle. That's a huge difference. And of course, with arrows or bows, not a big difference on that either, but you could tell a huge difference in the rifles. And finally, the last thing we're going to mention in this video is the Null sector. We have been playing a ton of this on our live streams. If you're interested in checking those out, there will be a link in the description down below and a tag as well. That's probably going to pop up right now. We're going to show you the Null sector and in all of its glory and how awesome it will be. So check that out. Next week, we are getting a new creature in the Arctic zone called the Arctic Vesper. Maybe Arctic Vesper? Yeah, I think it's Arctic Vesper is how you pronounce that. It's going to have its own trophies and all that good stuff, so look forward to that next week. And let me know if you'd like to see a video on this next week. Now, I said we were going to go over the changelog completely, but there's some things in here that I do want to mention real quick, so spoilers for those, but we're going to be checking out the future content section this week. And something I found interesting was that they did mention an ape, cat, and hornet boss, which sounds pretty cool. And they also mention a rock golem and slug. Also, we have no clue what a Mara Wraith is. SK Gun Rock Golem. And something really weird, Sandworm Frame Pillar and Beam Set. Okay. And that's going to be it for this video. Don't forget, if you like what you see, to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Tell me how you like this type of update video. If you enjoy it, maybe we'll continue to do them in the future. And hopefully, we'll see you next time. Peace. Pour some sugar on me. Awesome. What happened? Pour some sugar on me. Pour some sugar on me.